Timing slightly off this morning, but that's about it. That's off because everything else is great. You are on the lifeboat. Good morning, YouTube. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Welcome aboard. Hope Between the Dreams, Jane Aldrich, Matrix Rabbit. What's going on, guys? Good to see you. Cindy G, Jeremy Fowler. Hello, hello. You might be wondering why we're talking about finding purpose and there's a porpoise on our thumbnail. Well, might have gotten a little mixed up there, but we're looking for purpose, not porpoise, all right? Just for the record. Just for the record. Robin Miners, good morning. It's a fine Monday morning. I'm definitely not feeling wonderful. I think that, at some point I feel like I'm starting to whine because I just feel like that fish has really thrown my whole routine out of whack. But it's all right. We're gonna make it. I don't feel terrible, but I don't feel great. I feel a little behind, a little sluggish, a little like a piece of my soul was ripped from me and turned into a Horcrux by a fish. But that's all right. We're gonna make do with what we have. We're gonna do the best that we possibly can do. Still burping Sir Stroming. That is correct. That is correct, and it is foul. I have to tell you. Allegedly my dad told a story about me burping in the car. It's been like that at my desk. Just been burping at my desk, smelling Sir Stroming. It's pretty great. Tasting Sir Stroming. What's the significance of the white hood there, Matrix Rabbit? But anyways, finding a purpose, not a porpoise, just in case you were confused, finding a purpose in recovery is going to be a game changer. In fact, if I didn't have a purpose, right, if I didn't have something to get up in the morning for, I probably wouldn't get up in the morning. I probably wouldn't still be sober. I probably wouldn't still be doing this thing. So I have to say that finding something that you care about, finding something that really lights your fire is, I would say, necessary, right? It doesn't have to be like a big, grander thing to be a part of, right? You don't need to go volunteer at the food bank. Like maybe it would be a good thing if you did, right? But I'm just saying it doesn't need to be this big grand thing. Like you don't have to go start the lifeboat and try and change people's lives. But if you can find something to believe in, something that you believe in, right? Something that you can involve yourself in, right? Something that you can work on personally, it will bring, and I mean, I'm going to use the word purpose. It's going to bring a sense of purpose to your life, right? A sense of like, this is why, the reason, right? We talk about the reason. Hoobastank's got a song about it. But the reason, right? Why are we in recovery? Why am I getting out of bed for that matter, right? Why am I not just staying in there and curling up where it's warm, cozy, and nice? Well, that's because I have things that I want to do, right? That's because I have a purpose to accomplish. I have some things to get done that I'm excited about getting done, right? Why purpose matters? Well, it gives life meaning, provides motivation, which I sorely lack, to stay on track, and helps overcome feelings of emptiness or boredom. Now, if you're like me, you definitely felt empty when you gave up your drug of choice. Your hair is getting so long. I need to get it trimmed up so that it gets longer. I feel like it's been growing a ton, but it's breaking off or something. So it's excessively dirty right now. So I'm not going to play with it too much, but it is pretty long. I miss it when it was, I had it like way down here, all of it, not like before the undercut, but I got really depressed and didn't take care of it for like 3 weeks after Lucy and I had broken up. And I had to cut some knots out of it because we couldn't brush them out. We tried every trick in the book. I went to professionals. So yeah, now we're starting over pretty much. I mean, we're not all the way back, but we're almost back to where we were. Another 6 inches, on the long part. The short part, we need probably 18. But give it time. If I find a nice barber out here that I trust, that I like going to, it will grow much faster because I'll be getting it trimmed. I want a porpoise too. Hope between the dreams. I was trying to think of how to best play with those words. I love word games. But I couldn't figure out a really intelligent way to do it. So I just put a picture of a porpoise and titled it Purpose, That's good enough for me. Like a Rocky robe. Okay, let's go. Okay. I also Feeling a little bit on the sick side, guys, so bear with me here. My brain's a little bit slow today. I feel a little congesty. And who said decomposing fish was safe, you know? Mental and emotional benefits of finding a purpose. Purposeful living reduces anxiety and depression. Imagine that, right? Imagine that. It's magic and promotes resilience during challenges, right? Which is pretty much what we need to stay on this path, this marathon, so to speak, of recovery. I did shave the stash, Roberta. Good to see you. I shaved it because I didn't want surstroming to get in my mustache, and then I would have to smell surstroming everywhere that I went. And it did effectively, like, there's no surstroming in my mustache, but there's surstroming inside of me. So I guess it doesn't really matter. I could have kept the mustache and it wouldn't have changed much. Spanx, the dry air in AZ can affect your hair. Maybe a deep conditioner. I definitely need to evaluate the products that I'm using because the environment here is far different. I was living in a desert before, but this is a different desert. It's very different, in fact. And I don't know if it's drier. I don't know what the difference is, but it is not the same. It's not. Um, it must be drier, right? I mean, I don't think we have a lot of moisture content in our snow in Utah, but Arizona is undoubtedly drier, right? More dry. So that's definitely a good point there, Rob. And I sometimes forget about the finer details of self care. And that's what my friends are for, right? Got to remind me. Thank you so much. I definitely need to evaluate the product I'm using. And if I had someone to take care of my hair, like if I had a barber that I would go to, that would help a ton, which I don't right now. Sure wasn't the fish. All righty. So, if we're trying to find a purpose, right? If we're trying to discover what we would like to involve ourselves in, right? What's our calling? And it doesn't have to be permanent, right? Your purpose can change and evolve over time. The point is that we just need to find one, right? We need to find something to believe in. Otherwise, there's not going to be a whole lot of point in getting up and doing the things that we do, right? We can go through the motions. I believe they call that white knuckling. We can do that, right? But I don't think that that's going to be the most comfortable thing that we could do. I don't think that that's the most effective way we can go about this recovery thing, right? So why don't we just try and find a little bit of purpose, huh? That's my suggestion to you all. Reflect on your journey, right? Assess what matters to you, right? What is important to me? What does bring me joy, fulfillment, or peace, right? What has brought me peace in the past, even? What in the past, maybe before the drugs and alcohol, or maybe before, like, I lost pieces of myself, right? What was lighting my fire? For me, it was the easy answer was music, right? And then later I found dance and the fire tribe, right? But initially, music was the answer to that question. I love music. I couldn't go without music, right? So let's involve myself into music. And playing an instrument and getting back into that has helped me along my journey, right? If I'm not excited about anything, I'm at least excited to get up and play my guitar a little bit today, At some point, the guitar will be in my hands, right? And that's exciting. And that in itself, just the fact that there's one thing that I'm excited about doing today is going to change the entire game. It's going to change how I feel getting up. It's going to change the process of me getting up. I might not even get up if there's nothing exciting, right? And that's just me. Maybe not everyone's that way, but there have been times where I didn't have a purpose and I wouldn't even get out of bed, right? What's the point? I'm so depressed. Yada yada yada, right? Millie the dandelion, what's going on? Last 35 minutes of work, so lurking for a wee bit. Well, I'm glad you're getting off. It seems quite quick today. Are you getting off early? Broke a string last night. Ooh. I will say one of my least favorite things is doing the maintenance on my guitar, aka restringing it, getting a truss rod adjustment, any fiddling with the bridge or the Floyd Rose, any of that stuff. My least favorite. I've fortunately gotten to a place where I can tune the guitar pretty decently and easily by ear, but so tuning's not such a big deal anymore. But everything else kind of sucks. Yeah, and the Floyd Rose is a biscuit and a half, dude. It really is. I don't even have the bar in mine. Mine's just for looks because I don't even have a bar for it. Did I hear a Jim Morrison reference? It wasn't intentional, but it definitely could have been there. I am a fan. And it's like a whole nother language, isn't it? Hope Between the Dreams says same with my uke. I'm still learning it all. It's like a whole nother language, this music thing. And the fretboard, the strings, and everything, the setup on the ukulele is way different than the setup on the guitar, which is strange to me. The tuning on the ukulele always confuses me. Why does it go down and then back up? Right? Why doesn't it just go one direction with the sound? Never did understand that, but I guess also the banjo has a drone string, right? The fifth string is just meant to be like plucked over and over and over. It's like half the length. That's another confusing thing. Completely different. Past life persona by era. Let me write that down here real quick. Chat pile, right under chat pile. I love watching my microphone wiggle back and forth on the screen. Okay. Okay. What's going on, Yadira? Good to see you. Hello, hello, Tara Jackson. Flick Fox. I'm late because cool lyrics popped into my head, so I just had to go quickly record a little something. Let's go. If you get that creative surge and then you don't capitalize on it, you don't go use it right then, it's gone. It's gone forever. It'll never come back. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's really hard to re-attain that creative burst if I don't utilize it immediately. If I don't go write down these lyrics, right? If I don't go pluck out some notes on the guitar real quick, it's going to be gone. It'll be gone forever. I was listening to some blast beats this morning to try and wake me up, and they definitely seem to do the trick. Where's my notes? So we're reflecting on our journey, right? We're trying to find a reason for being. Okay, we're trying to find a reason. So we're reflecting on what brings us joy, fulfillment, peace, what has brought us these things in the past, right? Do we have any lessons that we've learned, or insights, or strengths that we've gained from overcoming our struggles, right? We probably do if we've been at this thing for a little while. Tara Jackson, I believe the Floyd Rose is named after the guy that made it. And the Floyd Rose is a type of bridge on the guitar. I bet you I can get you a visual. I'm going to get a couple visuals. I just made that word up. Visuals. Visuals. I'm really into music. If you haven't noticed, open a new tab. Ba, 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 ba. Lots of buttons to just share this little thing here. Wow, can we zoom in though? So this right here is the bridge. The strings are like wound around these pegs that go across like all the way down the neck, and then they go into these little holes. And these black buttons that you see are like wooden pegs that they push into the hole, and it has like friction. I don't know exactly the mechanism. I believe it's friction that keeps it in place, but it keeps tension on the string. Those little pegs, right? So the bridge is where the strings land into, and there's also like a little piece for the it's like a little piece of wood or whatever for the strings to kind of lean over. So like that's like a point of pressure for all the strings, and then it goes into the hole. On a Floyd Rose, it's like a different setup entirely. The bridge is floating. I wonder if I can get a good picture of this. This is a decent one. This will work. A Floyd Rose allows you to that sound when someone's like when someone bends a string, it goes me. With the Floyd Rose, you can bend it without your fingers. You can bend all the strings at once, basically. Um, and maybe I'm not describing that very well, but that's basically what happens. There's the bridge is floating instead of being attached. I'll give you the picture here. Sorry, I'm getting excited. And So you take the bar and it moves the entire bridge up. So it like dips the strings and it makes the craziest noise. But it's a pain in the butt to do maintenance on because it's floating, because it's more complicated. There's so many parts. These knobs that you see here on the bottom are little nuts, and you can turn them to do little micro tunes. Like you can do change it just a little bit because it also doesn't stay in tune as well because it's not as solid because it's floating, right? On the other end, where the neck is, on some Floyd Rose setups, they will have locking nuts. So there's a nut that you can tighten down onto the string so it won't move. And that'll keep it in tune. It'll also stop you from changing the tuning, right? So in order with that setup to change the tuning or to tune it up, if my little micro tuners, right, these little nuts here on the bottom, if these suckers are not, if the change I need to make is bigger than those are capable of making, because those only go so far, then I have to undo all the lock nuts at the top of the neck and then retune the whole thing. So it's quite a complicated system, but it's really, really cool in a nutshell. Thanks for letting me nerd out about that, guys. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for letting me say all that. Sometimes I'm a little long-winded. All right, let's do finding a purpose, huh? Lessons from recovery, right? Have we learned anything lately, right? Let's reflect on the lessons, the insights, the strengths that we may have gained from overcoming our struggles. And then after that, we're going to write down principles, our core values like honesty, kindness, growth, creativity, and align my actions with them, right? So what that means is I'm going to find out what I care about, what brings me joy, peace, right? What have I learned in the past from my struggles, and what are my core values? I'm going to wrap all of that up and then decide how I can act on those feelings, right? So maybe, for me, I'm doing the lifeboat, right? This is something that I care about. This is something that matters to me a ton. I've stumbled and fell down more than I care to remember, and I would like that to not happen again, right? And I'd like to be able to share that with other people, right? I'd like to bring other people up. I would like to see less of my friends fall down. I'd like to see an end to overdose deaths, right? I think that's a pretty wild goal, right? But we can friggin' shoot for it, right? We can go for it. James Collins, what's going on? Dale Cox, hello, hello. Spanks, have you got the tincture package yet? I have not, good sir. I have not. I have not. We did just go to the mail place a few days ago, so I imagine it'll be there on the next trip. TKK, good to see you. So we're going to find out what matters to us, and we're going to find out also how our actions can align with those values, right? Pretty, pretty straightforward in the very first steps. And again, common theme, we're going to set small, meaningful goals, guys. Once we identify something that we can do, something that we do care about, right, that may fulfill us a little bit, well, let's start small, manageable goals, right? I don't want to just roll the lifeboat out today, right? I'm not just going to do all this stuff, but maybe I could do some research on YouTube channels and what it would actually take to create one, right? Or maybe I can look into alternative ways of spreading this message or having a meeting, right? Or bringing people together. Maybe I explore some alternative ways of connecting, right? Or maybe the lifeboat isn't even the purpose, right? Maybe that's not the thing. What's going on, Crushik? Good to see you, man. Maybe, my purpose is I want to be a better father and a better husband or something like that, right? Well, if that's the case, I'm probably just gonna baby step a new routine or something, right? Well, maybe I need to do this, and this a little differently, right? So we'll do one of them, or maybe I need to have a little bit more patience. Whatever the case is, we can break it down into manageable goals, right? Baby steps. Maybe we're just going to write about it today. We're just going to ponder it today. Tomorrow, maybe we'll dip our big toe in. And your baby steps, you get to line them out, right? I don't get to tell you what your steps are going to be, but if we can break it down into small, manageable steps, it's going to be good. I also have participating in community events written down here, volunteering. You know the deal. We don't need to get too many examples in here. I think you get it. Rick Spicer, what's going on? And also, of course, you must celebrate your progress. All right, we're not doing this thing for funsies. You know, If I've worked really, really hard at something all year long, aka staying sober and bettering myself, I should pat myself on the back when I do a good job. I really should. And some people may say, "What, you want a medal for doing what you already should do?" Well, screw that person. All right, that person has no idea what they're talking about, and they've probably never had to get sober and stay that way. They've never struggled with that. So don't listen to people like that. Pat yourself on the back and make yourself some milk and cookies for doing what you should be doing. I think that's so terrible. I think that's ridiculous. Um, we don't judge people, and hopefully, people don't judge us. But I lost my train of thought right after making a weird joke. That's okay. Adaptability, be flexible, all right? Willing to revise your goals as you grow. The way you're viewing it now, what it looks like right now at this moment, may not be the way that it looks tomorrow or down the line, right? Once you start making progress towards your goal, it might change its face entirely. Now you're looking at it with new eyes, right? You've armed yourself with knowledge and you're practically taking steps, right? You're actually walking the walk as well. So your perspective may very well switch during this process, so don't feel like your goals can't change as well, right? You're changing, you're evolving, and your perception and understanding of things is evolving, right? So your goals can also evolve and grow. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. In fact, it's probably expected, right? Make sure you guys come see Tommy on Sean Atwood today if you can. Heck yeah, James. Heck yeah. I'm pretty stoked for my pops. He's really taken off, isn't he? Pretty stoked about it. Have a great day, Matrix. Hope you have a good nap. Grades are going to be posted on the 13th for fall semester at Fresno City College. I took 3 classes this semester and says Krushik, by the way. And I think I did pretty good. I'll let you know what grades I got. Hell yeah, dude. Please do. I definitely want to know. What are you studying, by the way? Anything fun? Find a porpoise? Yeah, we're finding some porpoise over here, Zaphod. I thought you might enjoy that. Is that how they say purpose in Boston? Oh my, I would pay good money to see that or hear that. I tell you what, I might have to look up some YouTube videos of Bostonians saying purpose later. I thought it would be a funny joke. I couldn't think of the best way to capitalize on it, so I was like, we'll just put a picture of a porpoise up. No big. No big. Good to see you, Zaphod. I hope life's treating you well, dude. Getting a degree in human services and a certificate. Hell yeah, dude. Good for you. That's awesome. That is awesome. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, purpose, right? It seems like Krushik has decided a purpose for himself, right? He's going to go get a degree. He's going to go study. He's going to learn how to be professional in this regard, and then he's going to go turn around and use that skill set to help people and to feed his family. I mean, that's literally the meat and potatoes of this whole show right there. Find yourself a purpose so that you have a reason to get out of bed. You got a reason to go to the gym, right? You got a reason to stay sober, right? To fight this good fight, this hard fight. Sandy Mack, what's going on? Substance abuse counseling. Thank you for your hard work, by the way. We don't have enough professionals in this field, obviously, right? Otherwise, I don't think it would be such a big pandemic, a big problem. I think about returning to school sometimes, but I always shut that thought down personally for myself. And maybe that's a self limiting belief that I can squash. My vintage moon says, I have a purpose, but after 2 months, I'm still so nauseous and in pain that I don't know when I will start feeling good about these purposes. Well, I tell you what, um, it's definitely a marathon. My vintage moon. Thank you for sharing this. It sometimes it is hard, you know, and all we can really do is put one foot in front of the other. Reach out to our friends, tell them how we're doing. You know, um, are you? What exactly is what word should I use here? What exactly is the deal? What's causing your nausea and your pain? Do you have some chronic condition, or is this related to your recovery? And again, you don't have to answer. That's my curiosity. That's my question. You totally don't have to answer if you're not comfortable, though. We don't make anything do anything they don't want to do around here. We just give advice and talk about recovery based topics, right? And when I say advice, I mean experience. We share experience. There's no advice. Rheumatoid arthritis, that'll do it. That will do it. Tell you what, do you have a pain management doctor, Vintage Moon? And do you have any experience with uh, painkillers? The reason I ask in that manner is because I don't know you. We're just meeting, right? And I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to share experience that isn't going to benefit you, right? But I think that living with this pain without like trying to help the pain at all, I think is probably a really difficult thing, right? That's probably not the life that you want to live. But at the same time, the alternatives need to be very carefully planned. Otherwise, it could, go an even worse direction, right? But I hope that you find some serenity and some peace and some time without nausea and pain. Some time to feel all right. That would be really good, wouldn't it? I think if you don't have a pain management doctor, that would be my first. And I mean, I feel like I'm being silly. Of course, you have a pain management doctor, right? I think that would be my first move is to try and feel better on a daily basis. Like we have some people on the boat that deal with chronic pain, and it's one of those things where there's not like we can do our best. We can reach out to doctors and we can seek help and try and figure the issue out. But it definitely seems like one of those things that we don't have a great understanding of as humans yet, like a great enough understanding. I know people that live with pain every day, and I don't know what to tell them. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't take their pain away, which is heartbreaking. Yes, I do have one, and I'm careful about painkillers, but I take them responsible. I was a speed user, and I felt it was making me sicker. I hear that 100%. Speed will definitely not only make you sick, but the endorphins in your brain, right? The chemicals that teach you what's good and what's bad, the chemicals that say this feels good, and the chemicals that say this doesn't feel good. Remember that are being damaged by speed use. So it's probably going to be a process to come back to a place of general baseline feeling well. In fact, I smoked a lot of crack, and I am just now. I'm about a year and 9 months and some days sober, and I'm just now coming to a place where I wake up and I'm not miserable. My reward system in my brain, those endorphins, right, those feel good chemicals, are starting to do what they're supposed to do again. I mean, it's not how it should be, right? But I'm not struggling as much anymore. And I only say that to say that it takes a long time for our brains to heal from drugs like that, right? From that kind of abuse. So um, I don't know. I guess I would also say just be kind to yourself. This thing's gonna take some time, and hope you have people around you that love you. You know what I mean? That can hold your hand when you need it and stuff. Because it's a marathon. It gets better. I promise it gets better. But it does take some time these kinds of things to heal. Unfortunately. Spanx chronic pain is why I'm here on the boat, says TK. I've slept 5 hours and 5 days, down to 40 kilograms. That's not good, TK. You can't keep going like that. You know this, right? It's this makes me nervous and breaks my heart, guys. You need more sleep than that. And I mean you know that. I'm not your mom, right? You definitely know that. My vintage moon says what you said makes sense. I don't have a baseline on what I should feel like. I must admit, I like that instant feeling of wow, I feel good. 100% instant gratification. is feels much better, doesn't it? It's like, hey, I'd like to feel good. Okay, I do. I can totally relate with that. And as an addict, that feeling is that thought process has not served me. You know what I mean? In fact, as like just a productive adult, I feel like patience always serves me much better, and it's something that I suck at. That instant gratification was what I want. I want it right now. But unfortunately, that has led me to rock bottom. That sentiment, that instant gratification, feeding that has led me to be devoid of anything good. Has led me to places where I have nothing. Um, so I'm trying to amend that myself. But I tell you what, Vintage Moon, your baseline is how you're feeling right now. You know what I mean? It's not how you should feel, but it's how you feel. And if you can feel a little bit better tomorrow, we're winning, right? That's a W. Um, just little baby steps, right? And maybe there's one thing you could do to feel a little bit better, right? Maybe get your nails done today, right? Or maybe take a nice bath with some candles and just soak, right? Whatever. And I mean, everybody's got lots of responsibilities and things to do. But if there is a way that we can just fit in a little bit of self love, like sneak in a little bit of treating myself today, then we'll probably feel a little bit better when we wake up tomorrow, or at least when we go to bed tonight, we'll feel good. So I think that little things like that, sliding in a little bit of self love, because as a society, I don't think we value that very much. I don't think we value taking rests and taking breaks and, taking care of ourselves as much as we value going to work and making money for the corporation, right? If you can sneak in a little bit of self love, it will do wonders for you. Izzy E, good morning. It's great to see you. I'm stoked you're here. I hope this message finds you well. This fine Monday. I love it when I come to do a boat and I have a topic or whatever, but then um, in interacting with the chat, we squirrel off and we kind of talk about something else, something that takes precedence, something that's important. Someone's dealing with something today, right? That is one of my favorite parts of the boat. It's one of my favorite parts of the boat. In fact, every day when I come on here, I hope that I can help somebody with something specific rather than just going on my spiel, right? Because it gets old doing the spiel. I mean, that's the wrong way to say that. It doesn't get old, but sometimes I feel like I'm just saying the same things over and over because I am, right? It's rote. We're trying to just get through the same stuff so we remember, right? My Vintage Moon says, thank you for just being here today. My absolute pleasure. Think I'm going to get my hair cut. Love to all in the chat. Well, I hope you enjoy that. I hope you also have a great day. Thank you for sharing. I know it's not the easiest thing to be vulnerable like that. Please come back and tell us how you're doing. I would love to hear from you again, Vintage Moon. What is your favorite coffee and creamer? Asks Krushik. I really like the Irish cream or the hazelnut creamer, but I really, really like fresh ground beans, black coffee. That's my favorite way to have coffee is black, which I don't know if you can see. It's black in there. um, it's delicious though. Whatever these beans are, they're good. I don't know where. I mean, I guess I do know where they're from. I just forgot. But I also, when Takara makes me coffee, I amend that. My favorite coffee is Takara coffee. And what is Takara coffee? You might ask. Well, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. Whenever Takara makes my coffee, it's just better. And maybe that's because I love her and she loves me and there's love in the coffee. But also, she has in her house, she's got like a little coffee bar setup in her kitchen. She has like a little, I want to call it like a desk or like a table or a counter that's specifically for coffee. It's got all the fixings, it's got the beans, she's got all kinds of different beans from all over the world. She's like a coffee aficionado. She's got like I don't even know what all the stuff is called. She can put foam in it. She can do espresso. She can do this. She can do that. And I tell you what, when she makes it, it's better. It just is. That's my favorite coffee. Just go off on a 10-minute rant about Takara's coffee. That's how much I like it. Robin Miner says those creamers are all oils, not good for you. Not to be confused with good oils, because there are good oils, but I agree. I think it's just pure sugar in those creamers. In fact, when I was a kid, we used to go into the gas station and just drink the creamer shots because that's great. Can't think of a better name. Says I'm pretty good at telling myself stuff like, "You want a medal for doing something you already should do?" Yeah, I talk to myself like this too, man. And I tell you what, it's not good. We shouldn't talk to ourselves uh, with such disdain. Although should is one of those words I try not to say, but I just feel like we talk to ourselves this way. I don't think it's a good thing. I think we deserve better. Actual cream is better for you, says Robin. I agree. I would love some like actual cream. That would be pretty cool. I tend to believe that anything I get at the store here is fake, but I mean, I guess the beef is real. A little Feenies in my coffee. Okay. I could read y'all's comments forever. Instead, I'm going to provide a show like I'm supposed to. Um, so we're looking for a purpose, right? We're setting small, meaningful goals on this purpose that we'd like to have, this reason for being, right? So what do we do next? Definitely connecting with others, which is what we're doing right this very second, right? Support groups, join recovery or interest-based groups to share experiences, find common ground, maybe pick each other's brains. Maybe you find a kindred spirit, right? Maybe you find someone that's just as into whatever reason or purpose that you've decided on as you are, right? Maybe you found someone that you got a PIC, a little partner in crime, although we're not doing crime anymore, right? Spanx, I'll see if is a way to make Irish cream and it's not super hard. I'll shoot a video for my channel. Absolutely, dude. Yeah, 100%. Speaking of, I need to go over to your channel and check it out, dude. I haven't done that yet. I'm over here slacking. That would be neat. I do like making stuff myself. If I can create it with my own two hands, it's always better than if I've bought it from someone. 100%. Heavy whipping cream is great in coffee. I eat so much cream and like milk and stuff that's not great for me. I feel like if I were to start putting cream in my coffee on a daily basis, that's just not necessary for me. Even though it's delicious. Dale Cox is a man after my own heart. I like my coffee straight black with some tincture in it, no sugar, no cream. Cheers, bro. That's me too. Wondering if I have some accessible tincture right now. I don't really want to stand up. Support groups, joining recovery, blah, blah, blah. Mentorship opportunities, right? Considering mentoring someone else, especially if you've got a little bit of time under your belt, you're feeling pretty comfortable, you're still involved though, well, maybe help someone else. That can deepen your sense of purpose. I say this now and again, but sharing the gift that you've been given, right? This gift of recovery, not that someone necessarily gave it to you, right? But you've discovered this new way to be, right? This life that we're living. Share what you've learned with someone else, and you will yourself reap even more benefits. Um, and I can't say that enough. And this is necessarily isn't for everybody, but if you've got it in you, I 100% would recommend trying to mentor someone or just share some experience that you've had. Maybe give someone a helping hand one time when they need it, right? Anything like that is going to flip the script for you, right? Before you were the person that needed help, right? And you were kind of recovering. Now you're in a place to help someone else. And when you go through the action of doing so, it's completely empowering. It makes you feel good. It reminds you where you've come from, what you're fighting for, right? It does so many good things. If you have the ability or the drive to do so, I 100% would go ahead and do it. 5 corporate minutes left. Woohoo! I think it's funny you say corporate minutes because you and I both know that our personal minutes are an alien subject. They are completely different than a corporate minute, which is very defined. My minutes tend to be a little more fluid. Build relationships. Surround yourself with people who inspire and encourage you. Imagine that, right? Imagine that would have a good effect. Huh. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that keeping good people, inspiring people around me would encourage you? I never would have guessed. Explore interests and passions, revisit old passions, right? So we're trying to find a reason. We find something we want to shoot for. What about the stuff that used to make me happy, right? I guess we talked about this before. Pick up the guitar again, right? Get back into crocheting, whatever the deal is. Reclaim your past joys, right? Reclaim your past passions. I'm sure that we've let some of them fall by the wayside as we've delved deeper into our addictions, right? Well, let's pick them back up. Let's literally reanimate. Let's revitalize. Let's resurrect our love and our passions, huh? Advocacy. Share your story or advocate for causes related to your recovery. So, this is a section called Contribute to Something Bigger. In this section, I was thinking, some people might want to become a part of something bigger rather than just finding a reason for themselves. Maybe their reason is more lifeboat esque, right? Maybe their reason is helping people or just something bigger, right? So in this section, I wrote about stuff like that, right? So maybe helping others can create a strong sense of purpose and connection, whatever that may be. Maybe you're volunteering at the food bank, right? Maybe you're going down to the shelter. Maybe there's a million ways to volunteer, right? Going down to your church, right? And helping out with that. Sunday school. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. I could probably go on at length on examples of this, right? But if there's something bigger you want to be a part of, don't shy away from that. It will give you a sense of purpose. It'll give you a sense of community like you haven't known before. Getting intimately involved with a cause in recovery when I'm firing on all cylinders, right? When my brain's like sharp as a tack, I think is a different experience entirely. And it can be a novel experience as well, especially if we've never done something like that before with a clear head. Highly recommend. And community involvement, right? Participate in local projects. This could be like, I don't know, who knows, like I said, the food bank or like a community garden, support groups to foster connections and give back, right? That idea of giving back is definitely a common theme in my work. Giving back is the anchor of my recovery. And it is good for you too, 100%. If you're in a position to give back, of course. Practice gratitude and mindfulness. Now, I feel like the rest of this is going to be some rehashing, but that's all right, guys. We know the deal. Gratitude journaling. Brianna Miller recently reached out to me and told me that she has a gratitude journal. I think that's pretty neat. I think that's pretty neat. Pretty stoked about that. Write down things you're thankful for each day to shift focus from past struggles to present blessings. This is especially effective if you are focusing on the past or some trauma that has happened in the past and you're having a hard time shaking that, you're having a hard time of processing through that, you're having a hard time of being present or reaching for the future because you're stuck in this past thing, right? This can help with that a lot. Gratitude, writing down what you're grateful for, shifting your focus from past struggles to present blessings, right? Mindful living. This is basically being present in the moment, guys. Engage fully in daily activities, savoring small moments, right? They're so sweet. Savor them. Finding purpose in everyday tasks, right? When I go in there and I do the dishes, I'm not just doing the dishes. I'm making my space in my home feel better, right? I'm making myself and my home look better. There's a million things that are happening when I'm just doing the dishes, but I'm investing in my future. I'm investing in how I'm going to feel 10 minutes from now when it's all done, right? I'm investing in how I'm going to feel when I wake up tomorrow and the kitchen is actually clean. I don't have to wake up in a dirty place. Mindful living. And also, this will enable you to switch course in the moment, right? If you find yourself getting the ants, if you find yourself becoming overwhelmed, if you find yourself reacting, if you're present enough in the moment, you can divert your course and maybe save yourself a lot of heartache, right? Acceptance. Embrace your journey. Acceptance is a big deal, including the challenge, pardon me, embrace your journey, including the challenges, excuse me, as a unique part of your story. In fact, our challenges may not define us, right? How we fail may not define us, but it definitely goes about making up who we are, right? Like, my failures are definitely a part of me because I did something with them. I either did nothing with them or I learned from them, right? I either let them define me or I used them as a tool to knock down the next door that I'm going to bust through, you know? Jane Aldrich says, where I live, the schools are crying for folks to please come in and volunteer as a reading tutor. Spend half hour per week meeting with the grade school student and let them read to you. Help as needed. I think that's really cool. I think that's way, way cool. In fact, I would do this. I would definitely do this. You get to interact with children, right? That's an experience that you don't always get. For me personally, I don't interact with children, right? I don't have children. There's not like children around me. I think that would be a unique experience that would challenge me in unique ways and help me grow in unique ways, right? Uh, for one thing, if I'm interacting with kids, I have to be a good example, right? I wouldn't be able to sleep well at night if I showed up and set a bad example for kids. You know what I mean? So that being said, I think that is just one unique aspect of that, but I think that's wonderful. I kind of wish they were doing this in my area. Maybe they are. Dude, hydroponic chilies, they may be legendary. Just a thought. Just a thought, James. No pressure or anything, but I'd buy them. I'd buy them. And now the fun part, guys. Set a vision for the future. This is a new concept I came across that I'm going to share with you. Create a vision board. Maybe we'll do this for Art Day today. Use images and words to visualize your aspirations and inspire action. So, the way I picture this, and the way that I think it was described, right? I did my best to understand, um, is like kind of like a collage, right? We could do this in our journal just by drawing, right? Or we can do a mixed media actual collage, get some like construction paper or whatever, get like a big board or maybe like a dry erase board, and we can use magnets, stickies, and dry erase markers, like whatever the case. But let's make a vision board for the future. Let's put images on there, words to visualize our aspirations and inspire action, right? So basically what we're talking about is taking a bunch of mixed media, whether it be markers, newspaper clippings, magnets. I don't know. Maybe we're just drawing pictures. Who knows? But we're going to take a bunch of things that inspire us, things that we're passionate about. And I feel like the easiest way for me to visualize this isn't with drawing, right? It's with using like magazine stuff or like maybe I've got some stickers laying around or maybe it's just images and we're using the paint program on the computer. But I picture like a collage of images of stuff that I'm really into and it kind of tells a story, right? Like, okay, I want to be sober. I want to be a rock star. And I want to bring my community together, right? I want to lift my community up, right? Those are just things off the top of my head from my heart. Well, I'm going to find a way to portray that with images and words on like a board of some sort. And then we have like a visual art piece, basically, right? It's a vision for the future. It's a vision board. Then we can put it somewhere like in my room or I don't know, maybe in my art space. And every time I look at it, I'll remember what I'm working for, right? What I'm working towards. Izzy E says that sounds like a cool activity for my ADHD brain. Since out of sight, out of mind is a bit of an issue, 100%, right? Then we have this vision board somewhere we can look at it all the time, right? Um, in fact, I believe it was Blessed to Crochet sent me it's like a framed picture with a heart and it says a bunch of really cool stuff about love. And I have that somewhere that I get to look at it every day because it's a part of my affirmations. And it's not necessarily an affirmation, but what it has to say about love are words that I want to live by. So I put it somewhere that I look at it every day so that I remember, right? I don't drift into anger and rage as much when I have love on my heart, right? Yeah, see? Hey, Kristen, it's great to see you. I hope you have a great day. I hope work ends here soon and you can go hang out with your tiny human, do stuff that you love doing. Do stuff that you love doing. All right. Yeah, I think I may look into. We might do that for Art Day. I don't know if we'll do it today, but I feel like I definitely want to make a vision board with you guys. I think that would be really cool. Develop long-term goals. Think about where you want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years. Take incremental steps to get there. Now, this was a concept that was laid out to me at a very young age. And I immediately was like, "Ha, I don't need that. I'm a super genius." I was like, I don't need any of that crap. I tell you what, actually setting goals, when I started setting goals and working towards them, my life started to actually get traction, right? If my life was a car, my wheels started to actually catch the road and we started moving. Setting goals and being conscious of them and breaking down manageable steps to get to them has been a game changer. And I have to say, like a huge part of my journey has been like sucking it up and writing stuff down. That has never been something that I wanted to do. Someone tells me to take notes, I'm like, I'm not uh, challenged, right? In my head, I'm like, I don't need to do that. I'm awesome. Like, and maybe that's ego, maybe that's I don't know what that is, but eventually I needed to swallow my pride and write things down, right? Actually set goals, have a planner, do all this corny stuff that my family was telling me that I should have been doing this whole time. And I have to say, when I finally swallowed that pride and did it, things started to take on direction and purpose in my life. Legacy thinking. What is this? Consider what impact or contributions you'd like to leave behind. Right? When it's all said and done and my life is spent, am I going to be proud of what I've done? Is there going to be anything of me left behind when I'm done? Right? Do I have kids? Did I leave anything behind? I think that's an interesting thought. That's a thought that I haven't really had until recently, right? I'm only 32. I'm still a very young man. But I definitely feel like it's if I don't start thinking about a legacy now, I'm going to be sore out of luck. I'm going to be sore out of luck. So, legacy thinking, right? Let's start thinking about what we're going to leave behind. What mark did we leave on the world? Did we make a positive difference? Did we make a difference at all? I'm so glad you guys are here. This is a cool thing that we do. I'm so not 100% today. Thank you for joining me, regardless of that. Seek guidance, therapy, and coaching. Work with a therapist or life coach to uncover your purpose and align with it. This is definitely something that we can bring to our therapist, right? This is definitely something that we can bring to our trusted people, our five. This is something that we can bring to someone else and, kind of bounce ideas off them. In fact, that's one of the most beneficial vocal exercises that I feel like I've ever done is bounce ideas off my dad, bounce ideas off Jake, bounce ideas off the boat. Because someone else might notice something that you didn't. Someone else might see it from an angle that you didn't, right? If spirituality resonates with you, explore practices or beliefs that inspire you. Now, we can insert religion instead of spirituality, right? Like whatever you're into, this is basically saying if it resonates, look deeper, right? If it resonates, maybe it's time to dive into that. Um, I know my dad definitely spent a lot of time reading his book. And I try not to be divisive and talk about stuff like that, right? But whatever spirituality or religion or higher power, whatever that is for you, maybe this is a good time to dive in deeper to that, right? If that's something that you believe in, whatever you do believe in, maybe it's time to forge a deeper relationship with whatever that is for you, right? And then role models, right? Look to others who have found purpose in recovery for inspiration and mentorship, right? We talked earlier about mentoring people, but what about the people that mentor us? My nose is really itchy. Sorry, guys. Stay resilient during challenges, right? Let's revisit your purpose regularly as to not forget, because our brains can sometimes be like Swiss cheese. Let's regularly revisit. Our purpose can evolve, like I was saying earlier. We can reassess and refine these goals as we grow, right? And I think that this is really just a sharpening of the goals, right? As we get farther down the line, it's going to become clearer and clearer what exactly we want to do and how we want to go about doing it. So as that happens, let's go ahead and amend the goals to fit. Accept setbacks, right? We're going to have obstacles. We're going to have curveballs. Treat obstacles as opportunities to learn and strengthen your resolve, right? That's all they are. Don't get down on yourself just because, all of a sudden we're going to have to wait an extra 2 weeks for this delivery or, whatever the thing is. Try not to get frustrated when things happen because things are going to happen regardless. I promise they're going to happen. And they may not happen in your favor, but it's okay. We're going to get through it. And then lean on your support system, right? Show up to the boat, reach out to your trusted friends, your family, your mentors. When motivation wanes, especially, finding purpose in recovery is not an overnight process, all right? It requires patience, self exploration, consistency. By building a life with meaning, you can create a foundation that is fueled by lasting joy and resilience. Let me know if you'd like further resources or exercises to help in the future. All right. This is something that we can revisit and also sharpen. This is kind of a new idea that I had today. And that's all that I've got for you. I think we've kind of danced around the purpose subject, but never like that before. Long term goals are such a mind bend for me, says Izzy. And I'm sure many others on here. Who here expected to be alive this long? Not me. A bit of a dog caught the squirrel moment. 100%. Now what, right? Now what do we do? Well, I tell you what, I definitely wish I had prepared for this day a little bit more, but now that I'm here and I haven't, maybe the preparation just has to start now, right? And Izzy, maybe long term goals aren't necessarily what you need, right? Maybe you just need a few different short term goals, and then those goals will lead you to, oh, wait, there's my long term goal, right? Maybe you can trick your brain into finding a long term goal by adding your short term goals together. I don't know. Sometimes I have to reframe things in my head like that to make it work. So just a thought that I had. Just a thought. And also, like a long term goal could be something as simple as I want to be a good parent, and I want to be, at this place with me and my family at this time. It could be as simple as like health, security, and progress for my family. And honestly, that's pretty much what I want. I would like, safety, security, and progress for myself and my family. That's pretty much my overall goal, right? There's some specific stuff going on, right? But um, in general, it doesn't have to be specific. It could be in general. Well, guys, happy Monday. Thanks for trudging through this with me. I felt like I was struggling there for a while, but you guys got my back. I appreciate it. I'm going to go make some pancakes, I think. I'm really hungry. Um, it'll definitely make me feel better. And we will be doing art today. I don't know if we're either going to make a vision board or we're going to come back with black paint or a black pen and try and give my frog some boundaries. We're going to set boundaries with the frog or make a vision board. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I have what I need to make a vision board, so maybe we'll just look forward to that and we'll put some lines on a frog. But other than that, TK, I think everyone can read what you have to say, yo, but I will tell everyone continuously how much you appreciate them because we appreciate you. Doesn't that sound cool, Flick? And I think on Wednesday, I'm going to do a little Drake and Kendrick bonanza. I think we're going to, I was going to say dip a toe. I think we're going to dive headfirst into the Kendrick and Drake thing on Wednesday. I'm going to. So that'll be fun. That'll be really fun. That will be really fun. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It makes a big difference for us. Check out my dad on the Atwood program later today. I'll be doing art later today. And yeah, don't work too hard, but you're worth it. So treat yourself as such. Other restrained, what's going on? Yo, thanks for saying that, man. I shaved my mustache off because we ate that rotten fish the other day, and I didn't want my mustache to smell like it. And I tell you what, my mustache doesn't smell like rotten fish, but my breath does, and it's gross. Uh, and I tell you what, it's not a lack of hygiene; it's just stuck to me. Um, what time what time art? 5 p.m. Eastern. I believe it's 4 p.m. Eastern or 4:30. I'm usually a little bit late. I'd say 4:30. Shave in solidarity. That's funny. What's up, TK? Did I miss some? Yo, I was touching this part of my excuse me, this part of my lip yesterday when it was all shaved. I'm pretty sure that this structure here, these like little ridges, I'm pretty sure those are muscles. Thoughts that live rent free in my head. Anyways, much love, guys. This has been the Lifeboat. I'm Captain Calhoun. You guys have a wonderful day, all right? It's only a baby face Robin because you can't see all my scars in this lighting. But anyways, much love, guys.